So welcome to our new God's Love for the Unlovable Gospel Rant series format. We're calling it Vagabond, Diaries. Kind of cool title. We want it to be fun, informative, relevant. We want it to be life-changing, filled with spiritual formation, immersed in the gospel. And by the way, when I say gospel, it's this good news that God loves the unlovable, the unloved, and the unlovely. And that's all of us on any given day. If we were just a little bit honest. So we've done biblical topics on Gospel Rant from a scholarly perspective, verse by verse, but now we're going to be telling stories. And my hope is that it gets dialogue going. It gets us thinking in different ways. It's like seeing a diamond from different perspectives. And it's foundational, it's biblical, it's relevant, but it's also entertaining. And we're not above made-up characters and quirky sarcasm and even political insight where we think it's important, right? Our goal is to make us see through a different lens. Yeah? Well, today, I hope it's a real treat. I want to read a chapter from my third book in my award-winning Christian fantasy series for 10 to 15-year-olds. It's called The Garden Tale. It's been favorably compared to Chronicles of Narnia. Check it out on Amazon and Kindle. It's going to be on Audible soon. You can get it at Barnes & Noble. It's fun. It's filled with adventure and quirky characters, but it's also got relevant, life-changing spiritual truth. It's immersed in the gospel of God's love for the unlovable. And it's for children of that age, but like C.S. Lewis, he says that any good children's story, if adults don't like it, it's not that good. So adults, I challenge you, take a look, see what you think, and then go get it for the 10 and 15-year-olds in your life and in your church. In The Garden Tale, a dicey corporation, GKP, has developed a powerful social media-esque device in strategy that has captured the minds and attention of the entire country of Garden City. Girls, boys, men, women, dragons, they're all addicted to this thing. But who's going to stop them? Well, the king pulls together a interesting, quirky task force headed by a programmer, teen girl by the name of Hui. And she's having a conversation in this cut with one of the programmers at GKP, Marv, who is also concerned about the power of this algorithm he helped design. And again, the idea is to offer 10 to 15-year-olds an explanation of the dangers of social media, parents, and put it in 10 to 15-year-old language in a story that captures their attention and lowers their defensiveness, yeah? So currently, some project that 2 out of 3 of tweens and teens are technically addicted to social media. That could be yours. So check it out and get this book to other people that you know who are struggling with this. 2 out of 3 teens and tweens. You know some of them. So welcome to God's Love for the Unlovable and Gospel Rant. Okay, we're going to pick up in the middle of chapter 7. Hui and Marv were sitting across the table in their new safe house. At first, the captain was shocked to see another person with Hui, but she implored the captain to just listen to Marv. She claimed he had the missing puzzle pieces, at least a lot of them, and he was willing to help us bring GKP to its corporate knees. Even though the apartment had aired out some, Marv at one point ran to the bathroom to throw up. Unfortunately for Marv, the troll stench was even more potent in the bathroom. After a few minutes, they got used to it a little and could at least talk. "So, Captain," began Marv, "imagine you wanted to watch a couple of playful dragonelles tumbling over each other on your free IG-16 just to get a laugh in the middle of your hard day. Great, right? Innocent enough? Who doesn't? But what you don't know is GKP's incredibly powerful algorithm's all-seeing eye tracks every detail of what you watch, how long you watch it, and what you click on next. The algorithm doesn't just sit back and wait for you to make another request. No, it will immediately suggest some options for you to check out. It's designed to continually update your complex user profile, so it knows better than you what you will pick next time. So maybe you choose to watch a particular short video we created on the 3rd floor about the supposed growing possibility of complete dragon extinction in Garden City, the environmental fallout for all humanity worldwide, and GKP's heroic efforts to save the dragon and the world, just making lives better, right? And of course, we will use emotional words like genocide and sacrificial passions and murder. The more emotional words, the more successful the algorithm strategy will be. You feel bad about the dragons and even compassionate until your rational brain says, hey, wait a minute, look around. We have more dragons than you can shake a stick at. Now you may feel bamboozled and played, so the prescient algorithm, wanting to see how you react, may send you a different suggestion. This time, a longer video of an angry rant by some crazy you've never heard of who claims he has actual hushed up scientific evidence, cover up. The government doesn't want you to see. He bellows that dragons are not endangered at all, and this is a governmental conspiracy to increase taxes or some other reason. It may or may not be true. That's of no concern to the algorithm. It just wants your attention more today than yesterday and even more tomorrow. So, since your garbage cans have been knocked over 5 times in the last 6 days by hungry dragons that freely roam the city in growing gangs, you decide you will like the conspiracy video and even make a supporting comment. Hey brother, I believe you, keep it up, we need to do something, angry emoji. The machine now has you. You are hooked. Then the algorithm will likely send you a push-pull survey, again, one we built on the 3rd floor, and here's an example. Do you think dragons are destroying our way of life in Garden City? Click on yes or no. Depending upon your response earlier, it may send you a different survey. Do you believe dragons should be more protected against illegal poachers dressed up like knights? Yes or no. Well, of course, either way, you participate because your opinion is valuable and should be heard, right? And the invisible smart algorithm thanks you for your gracious opinion, gives 50 likes and some thumbs up emojis, and you feel pretty good. You even get a nice dope hit in your brain. Well, what no one tells you is no one cares. Your response goes unseen, straight into the web celestial trash can. The algorithm just wanted to make you feel that you could trust it as a fair arbiter of democratic rationality, so you will stay attached, particularly when it suggests another government conspiracy rant on any topic whatsoever. Say more about the dope hit, inquired the captain. You're saying that our brain is on the side of the algorithm. Yes and no, said Marv, shaking his head slightly. So imagine a bored or lonely young person at a dead-end job, lacking real intimate friends who like them and who they can trust. They pick up their IG, make a stray comment on someone's post, and get 20 smiley face emojis and 6 thumbs up. It feels good to be noticed, even if it is just by lines of code. The feel-good is caused naturally by a neurological chemical called dopamine, which creates a positive association with whatever behavior prompts its release, training you to repeat the behavior. Your brain will want you to make another comment on another post. See? That's how the algorithm hijacks your brain's reward system. When it does, and it does it very well, it can begin to compel you to repeat even self-destructive behaviors subconsciously. It's child's play to even the simplest algorithm, and the addictive power of the IG algorithm is very sophisticated. What behaviors does it want? Marv continued. It prefers you spend hours on your IG instead of talking to real humans, reading a good young reader's fantasy book, or playing baseball with friends. The algorithm hijacks your normal human compulsion to connect with real people and be noticed by real people. Naturally occurring dopamine in your brain is the algorithm's passive accomplice. It manipulates our human longing to be seen as lovable and connectable. The algorithm milks it for all it's worth. But in the end, users hooked on their IGs are even more isolated and lonely, wondering if they are enough or ever will be. It is awful for vulnerable teens whose brains are still developing and who tend to be more prone to addiction. But to what end? Asked the captain. Control, of course, chimed in Hui. I asked Marv the very same question. It's brilliant. The algorithm exerts such a powerful pull on our psyche and our identity. It is so pervasive in our lives that it changes how we think, behave, and relate to one another. The effect multiplied across the entire population of Garden City can even reshape society itself. Yeah, that's about right, Marv agreed as he sipped his Red Bull. The bodegas were out of Monster, so he and we settled on 111 milligrams of caffeine. You're saying that GKP has centralized influence and maintains the ultimate power to shut down any real critics and any real alternate points of view, said a shocked captain. It's brilliant and will hurt a lot of real people. Yeah, our internal research, Marv continued, has shown that 46% of Garden City say they couldn't bear to live without their IGs. Some said they would prefer to suffer physical harm instead of losing their device. But 60% say they believe the IG makes them unhappier. We estimate almost 90% of teens and young adults are borderline addicted to the IG, or rather, the dopamine hits the IG provides. 90%. Even though most would say their lives and work satisfaction, self-esteem, and relationships are poorer because of the time they spend on their IG devices. Many of us programmers are starting to blame ourselves. The end. By the way, those numbers are actually real numbers reflecting teenagers today in the United States. All right? So here's some dialogue starters I thought about. What do you think about the strategy of GKP and how successful it's been and related to social media in your neighborhood? Can you relate? So what are we to do? What are parents to do? What are teens to do? Is there an alternative? And yes, I think, consider the power of story. That's one of the reasons I wrote these fantasy books. A good book can give young readers a dopamine feel-good hit that could last almost a week. And during that time, you see, they would be less drawn to social media. Are you with me? What do you think? Push back. If you like this Vagabond diary, please like and subscribe and forward the link to a friend. We're trying to get a movement going about children's fantasies and stories. If you like that, or if your 10 to 15-year-old heard this and liked it, get the entire series on Kindle, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can do a search on Dr. Bill Sinyard or Tale of the Unlikely Prince or The Garden Tale or Storyteller's Tale. I'm writing a fourth now. It was going to be a trilogy. Now it's going to be 4. This one is really exciting. It should be out sometime next year, 2025. You can also find the tale on Audible. The others will be on Audible eventually, I hope. If you want more information, check out the author page, www.drbillsinyard.com. Check it out. Take heart, child of God.